You've heard of Black Ops 4. You've heard of gauntlets. You may have even heard of Ancient Evil. You've probably never heard of me. But what happens when you play Gauntlet mode inside of Ancient Evil, a map with Gauntlet wonder weapons? It's time for this guy to take on giant four-armed dudes and fist some dry corpses. Oh, why do I say these things? Before I get into the gauntlet, I want to give you a warning. Round 21 will include flashes of bright lights every once in a while, so if you're sensitive to that, I'd recommend skipping ahead to challenge 22. It starts off with action. Round 1's quick kills. You need to melee all zombies within 10 seconds, and hey, that was quick. Turret mode locks me to the ground, which is not good because a sedentary lifestyle can lead to fat ass syndrome. At least I'm inside with the Oracle. I could use the company. With the kids at school and my wife working in the office again, I've been having to pretend I'm the cat speaking to keep myself from going insane. Now, you may have noticed my SOG 9mm with this waifu reactive skin. That's because on round 3, subpar, I can only use unpacked SMGs, and since Sarah Michelle Gellar wasn't available, I'd have to use the SOG. I activated the Sentinel artifact to do battle with zombie warlord skeleton buddies. They actually say his name in the main quest, so why did they refer to him as Zombie Warlord? Sounds like a RuneScape name. Finally, after being rescued by a Budweiser ad, I grabbed a max ammo and was off to actually do the rounds challenge. After getting down to one zombie, I grabbed Pegasus Gimp Suit and battled the Geganese, a tall, bald dude who traded all his scalp hair for a beard. Round 4 is That's the Spirit, so after murdering the Giganese and appreciating the dad joke title, I grabbed a dormant hand from a No Man's Sky crystal, grabbed the final shield piece, and built the Apollo's Will so I could kill 15 zombies with spears. You could throw them or stab them, it's up to you, but throwing results in no damage to your shield at the cost of needing Tommy John surgery. It turns out that throwing an exploding spear is extremely effective and makes quick work of zombies, so once I got to the end of the round, I grabbed Winter's Wail and finished the challenge. Whew, it sure is a hot day deep underground here, so I had to cool off at the gymnasium bathhouse or else I'd burn myself. In reality, the temperature is in the mid-70s as I type this and wonder why I'm working when I should be golfing. Since a full power dropped, I spammed the Viper and Dragon to kill some zombies. I felt edgy, and since I don't own a copy of Shadow the Hedgehog, any Linkin Park albums, and not part of the politics subreddit, I had to finish the round on the dark side of the map. I took the scenic Pegasus ride over into hell before getting knocked off by Abs Saja Boy. Since I was in no danger of getting to the other side of the map by accident, I grabbed the first 2 parts of a special equipment, but didn't have enough points to grab the final part. I built up enough points to trade in the waifu gun for the VAPR XKG because there's only one fictional waifu for me, killed a few more zombies, then initiated the lockdown at the Shrine of Oranos. There was a bit of risk to this move as I couldn't leave the circle and wasn't fully set up. Round 7 is loaded, where I had to end the round with all guns and equipment at max ammo. I started by finishing the lockdown to get to the Fallen Hand of Oranos, which I used to bop a zombie into an arrow so I could float a feather to the shrine. I grabbed the final part of the equipment and floated a second feather over to the shrine, thankful that I don't suck at this like I used to. Okay, so I suck less than I did. Happy? After a lot of struggling to line up the zombies, I realized that it would be too risky to try and only hit one of them, as one shot would end the round. After building the single greatest equipment ever, the Pegasus Strike, and that is not exaggeration by the way, I played like it was Mega Weenie Monday and put my fallen hand down and killed the zombies using the poison trap to ensure that I had ammo at max. Double damage unfortunately does not mean that I do double damage, it means the enemies do. Deciding to show you all what I meant about the Pegasus Strike, I placed one down and spun around trying to find a zombie to fling into the giant arrow. Finally though, I managed to bounce a zombie and fire 2 blasts into the feather. With all 3 feathers, I ended the round. As I was teleporting to prove myself to Uranus, a shitty task indeed, round 9 half speed started. Thankfully, when proving yourself to the primordials, you have infinite ammo and can just hold the redeemed hand of Oranos until the task ends, making it by far the easiest trial to complete. With my upgraded gauntlet, my geriatric moving ass made it back to battle once more. I nearly went down while hanging out in the corpse of a giant snake, so to make matters worse, I shot the chain on a bird cage to summon old forearms again. Time to help my guy Apollo out. Apology accepted involves defending the Temple of Apollo, aka the spawn room. I grabbed stamina up and warped back to the light side, just barely making it to the temple in time. If you're a long-time watcher of my channel, you might remember my rare BO4 achievement video where I had to last 20 rounds in this temple with only my spawn weapon, thoughts and prayers. But this time I had OP stuff to back me up, so I had no issues and got the bronze medal. Now free to be stupid everywhere once again, round 11 was handy, like a trombone cleaning kit. All I had to do was have a redeemed hand by the end of the round, but I'm way ahead of the curve, just like my English and reading scores on the ACT back in the day. Just ignore my science score. Ancient Evil's great because when well optimized, you can regularly get all 4 redeemed hands by round 8. I've even done it by round 7 before. I purchased Dying Wish and Quick Revive, killed some zombies on the light side of the map, and returned to the hell side to finish the Geganese from earlier. Round 12 was Shopaholic, where you need to increase your credit card debt by purchasing something every 12 rounds. To make myself look superior financially compared to my colleagues who actually knew how to foster social relationships in college, I bought the Strife back at spawn in order to continually buy ammo refills because they only cost 250 points per buy compared to every other gun minus the Essex being more expensive. Cataclysm is a Catalyst Onslaught, which sounds terrifying, but then you remember you have the redeemed hand of Oranos and suddenly life seems to be a little less frightening. But I also grabbed the ICR-7 because I'm a zombies YouTuber and originality is for virgins. I returned to the dark side in the center of the world to blow the Catalyst away as well as finally activate Pack-a-Punch. I've gotta say, Ancient Evil is a great map, but this Pack-a-Punch unlock is a real drag compared to some of the others. You don't feel like you're solving a fun mystery like in Dead of the Night, nor can you just breeze through it like 9. But either way, I ended a Fireboy with a gust of wind that lifted up his skirt Marilyn Monroe style. Round 14 is Assault on the Senses, where you can only use unpacked assault rifles. Thankfully, I'm super smart and most certainly didn't look up the challenges beforehand, and if you accuse me of doing so, I will sue you for libel. After Niles vanishing out of there, I made my way to the amphitheater and traded in the ICR for the KN-57, just out of convenience. Also, the Mastercraft looks a lot cooler. Oh yeah, there's also a Blight Father, because round 14 is the first round he spawns in on the map. I'm not assuming his gender, by the way, because it's Blight Father, not Blight Parent. I finished the round quickly to avoid someone on the internet canceling me for that joke. The big show is round 15 and you have to successfully perform an armbar on the wrestler of the same name. That's all proper wrestling terminology, right? I had to defend the amphitheater, and since I did community theater back in high school, I was only happy to oblige. I've always kind of wanted to get back into it, but I'd get typecast as the fat guy with like 2 lines. Maybe if a local theater does Tropic Thunder, I could play Jack Black's character. Round 16, Tribute. I need to get an epic tribute, and it's good that I've been too lazy to work on them earlier because my rank would have been reset anyway. Ancient Evil is the map that started the challenge system that you see today, even in Black Ops 6 as the SAM trials. You get a lot of options like dealing melee damage, holding a position, scamming children of their Robux, and so on. My first challenge was the aforementioned melee damage one, so my redeemed hand got well acquainted with some zombie jaws. I wasn't a boxer in high school, but I punched above my weight to get to legendary. Challenge 2 was to kill zombies with Apollo's will, so the inner Gerard Butler came out of me. I'm not trying a Scottish accent though, I only do Joey Wheeler or Sheen from Jimmy Neutron impressions. The Oracle did me a solid by recharging my spears, but I still had to reload to continue the mayhem. Got my epic award, an upgraded Damon submachine gun, and finished the round. Spartoy Scramble is round 17's challenge, and you can't kill Spartoy with headshots on this one. Wait a second, that's how they die. What am I supposed to do? The can? Turns out no, I just had to use my beastly hand to literally one-shot the entire round. Round 18 gives us an interesting challenge. Oracle's boon involves only using weapons that pop up in the Temple of Apollo. Hey, it's the Vengeance! If that doesn't tell you how this round's gonna go, then I don't know what is. If I had an ELO or red dot sight on this, I think it'd be a lot better. Thankfully, the game gave me a real man's gun with the packed rampage, and now I can feel the testosterone coursing through my veins. I should probably see my doctor for that. Of course, another Giggity spawned on me and took all my bullets. Turns out the real god blessed me with one of my all-time favorites, the Stingray, aka the Macho Manta 6, when upgraded. This thing is an absolute beast and made quick work of Douchebag Man. Round 19 is stop, drop, and roll, something I'm certainly not doing if there's ever a real fire. I'm running the hell out of there, waiting for Spider-Man to save me so I can throw razor pumpkins at him. You have to lay down to stop random damage, but at least the floors are immaculate despite this trial having gone on for thousands of years. Call me SeaWorld because I enslaved an animal to do all of the dirty work for me while receiving no benefit in return. For round 20, Worldly, you have to defend the center of the world, so I joined Brendan Fraser and Josh Hutcherson on a quest to find the Earth's core. Unlike that movie though, I got crushed by the pressure. I barely made it to the center with literally half a second to spare before using my Stingray that the Oracle was kind enough to let me keep. My editor actually told me I was supposed to return it, so now I'm wanted for theft. Also, I'm my own editor, so what exactly is going on here? I defended the area with the use of magic air hand as well as the Viper and Dragon, getting the silver medal. Before I start the next round, I just want to give one more final warning that if you suffer from sudden flashes of bright lights, please skip to challenge 22. The time is listed here. Thank you. Round 21, as I've warned twice in this video, is incredibly annoying. Blindsided assaults your eyes randomly with bright flashes. I started the round by pack-a-punching my Stingray to the max because it's amazing and I want to keep it, but holy shit, this blinding is awful. Like seriously, why would Treyarch put this in the game? Little Japanese kids got put in the hospital because of that Porygon episode of Pokemon, just like certain white Americans got put in the hospital because of the way Jinx used to look. Seriously, I don't even have issues with flashes, and this made my stomach upset. Hell, it still does as I'm writing the script watching the footage. At the end of the round, I grabbed the KN-57 and pack-a-punched it to the max and ended the round. With my eyeballs I wasted all my points on KN-57 ammo refills because of Make It Rain on round 22. You take damage if you have over $5,000 bucks, so I figured the best thing to do would be to train in the amphitheater as always and just buy ammo whenever I had too many points. Unfortunately, I did get a double points, which any other time would be amazing, and I even had to do battle with yet another Geganese because screw me, I guess. Seriously, homeboy took well over half a KN's worth of ammo to kill, but he repaid me with a max ammo. Round 23 is Trial of the Gods, which sounds awfully ominous if you ask me. You get teleported to the giant glass that the Chimera Proving Trial happens on and get instantly burned to death like an ant. Really, you need to survive for a minute and a half against zombies and Geganese because misery is this gauntlet's name. This is pretty similar to what you have to do if you upgrade your gauntlet from Redeemed to Exalted, but because I'm lazy AF, I didn't do this gauntlet. Finally, the time ended and I returned to the map, the victor of the round. Round 24 is Run Away! Run Away! You need to kill all the zombies in 3.5 minutes, but they all run away from you like you ripped ass. Well, excuse me, but I'm lactose intolerant, you jerks. Luckily, I've got a cheat as always. The Pegasus Strike attracts zombies to its location to get zapped to death, which is probably what the developers intended you do when completing this challenge. Despite using 2 Pegasus Strikes and my Viper and Dragon, a couple zombies still got away, but like Boba Fett, I hunted them down and shot them in the back. Very honorable. Stoic. I needed to defend the Stoa of the Athenians. Fun fact, the heroic buff-looking statue dude was inspired by me. It's titled, Do the Opposite of What Zombies Dad Jokes Does. Defending the Stoa is pretty easy thanks to the Hand of Oranos. It's certainly not the best hand. I think I ranked it as the 3rd best in a video I did eons ago, but it's still an amazing wonder weapon all the same. Besides, if I used the Hand of Charon, that would make things too easy, and you guys don't like to see me go flawless, right? You don't watch contest shows for the winner, you do it for the fails. At least I do. For the first time since 2010, LMFAO became relevant with shots. Whenever I fire a weapon, I lost points, which kind of sucks when you're playing a game that involves shooting zombies. I realized the loophole though. The Viper part of the Viper and Dragon is a melee attack and not shooting, so that helped preserve some points, but I still had to utilize the wind portion of my hand to clear the round. Come on, this is the wind, it can't count as shooting. Round 27 is always a classic screw-up round in gauntlet mode. Keep it light, where the game makes you use an unupgraded weapon on a game where the guns are notoriously weak on round 27. This time it's an unpacked LMG, and I respect Treyarch for the choices I had to use the Titan. It's a Greek unique map after all. I ditched my redeemed hand for a bit because I couldn't use it, and I looked up. I mean, I had a feeling I'd need my other weapon slot. The Titan is okay. It's heavy as my ass and just as slow, but unlike me, it gets the job done. Kinda like Chapel Roan, you know? Am I hip now since I'm making references that are only like a few months old rather than a decade or two old? The biggest problem with this challenge isn't the fact that good training spots on the map aren't really that good when using a somewhat optimal loadout. Thankfully, I find slinking around the light side like I was Supreme Chancellor of the Republic worked fairly well, but I had to sneak back to the dark side to replenish my ammo. Yeah, so remember that ammo replenishment? I had to do it again because there isn't enough oomph to finish the deed. I ended the round by letting a fire zombie get his hot liquid all over me. Round 28, Farewell to Arms, a round that I actually fumbled a bit on. You need to kill zombies with 10 types of guns, so I started with the Titan and the Koshka. The Koshka was an absolute mistake to buy because while it is actually pretty strong and capable of killing zombies at this round, it's 4,500 points and I'm not exactly very wealthy right now. I followed it up with a nice spear kill and another expensive purchase, the VAPR XKG. Call me Wilson because I always make such expensive mistakes. And if you get that reference, you're an absolute champ. I got my VAPR kill, grabbed the hand of Oranos, and broke wind in order to get a 5th kill. Realizing that stuff was too expensive down here, I decided to return to the light side of the map for the MX-9, not to be confused with XJ9. It took a billion bullets to actually kill a zombie with this thing, but like Michael Scott, somehow I managed. Back to my favorite wall gun, the ICR, which is still a beast enough to kill a zombie with a few bullets to a head. I whipped the Mozu out of my pants for a quick headshot kill. Underrated gun, the Mozu. I grabbed the M1897 Trebuchet from the wall, which managed to put down a zombie with only a few shots before grabbing the GKS with the Rainbow Unicorn Mastercraft. Please don't judge me, guys. My kids thought it was funny and my daughter loves Unicorn, and this game came out in 2018. Joke's on you, this thing killed the 10th zombie and I was free to trim the zombies, including another stilt man with my specialist. I got cornered but somehow escaped without triggering my dying wish because getting triggered is so 2015. I realized that I wasn't gonna get enough points to spin the box for a really good gun, so I settled for the Auger DMR, which amazingly sounds like Sebulba's pod racer, before getting trapped and actually triggering my dying wish. It looked like I was in for a skull because I was not able to use my Pegasus strike, and my specialist and anywhere but here were not charged, but I turned and punched my way out due to the increased melee damage. Finally, at the end of the round, I spun the box a few times, but decided to keep the auger and Pack-a-punched it twice before finishing the round. The second to last round is Dinner and a Play. This is the hit your mark step from the main quest and is a fantastic, calming little round that is much appreciated after how hectic the last one was. Only an idiot would run out of ammo and fail this round. Are you fucking kidding me? The round started and I was still completely out of my Oranos hand and figured I was toast. I'd have to try to get another hand done on round 29 with very minimal tools to work with, but one of the first zombies I killed decided he wanted to see my acting and gave me a max ammo. With a flawless anywhere but here, I was able to return to the amphitheater and successfully complete the round. Hope you got set up before round 30 because Hot Pursuit transports you directly from the play into the boss fight. Now when I did this battle during my main quest video, I had a fully upgraded Hellion Salvo as well as the redeemed hand of Charon. This time I was rocking the redeemed hand of Oranos as well as the auger with only 2 Pack-a-punch levels. Time to show why they call me Zombie's dad Goat. I think it's mainly because of my sheepish way of talking. So without an overpowered missile launcher, I started by shooting the approaching Pegasus, but eventually decided I'd have better luck with the redeemed hand. It locks on when you fire it, so that way I don't have to do a core function of the game, aiming. Unfortunately, after smacking the horse around with my cannon and sword, I took a death and received my second skull. The bright side is that you don't lose your perks after a skull, and I had grabbed a max ammo prior to my death. This of course is counteracted by me having to restart the boss from the beginning, including rematching with the Geganese. Let me tell you something, when you don't have crutches like Homunculus, the Salvo, a top 5 wonder weapon in history, or even Dying Wish charge, things get a little hairy. Thankfully I downed Pegasus just as my hand ammo ran out. I was able to slice and dice, picking up a max ammo. If you see me running into the fire that zombie warlord threw, I promise I've not lost the will to live. The fire charges your special weapon quickly, and that's the only way to do actual damage to the winged steed. Finally, after enough off Hokey Pokey, I downed Pegasus again and went to town on him. Rinse and repeat, really. I brought Pegasus down 2 more times and smacked his ass with the Viper and Dragon. Eventually sick of watching me kick his pet's ass, Perseus stole his power and tossed him off the mountain. The Perseus part of this battle is pretty straightforward. He throws fireballs at you like he's NES era Bowser, then warps, does a little spinny move, then warps back. You need to put enough damage into him with your normal weapons, which will cause him to get the orange lines on him that Pegasus had, making him vulnerable to your specialist. In retrospect, the Hammer of Valhalla is probably better for this fight, as is the level 2 or lower Scepter of Ra. Finally, after embarrassing Sam Worthington enough with a level 2 Augur, I ironically defeated him with a snake sword to finish the gauntlet. Thanks so much for watching, and if you've been enjoying the gauntlets, I'm following this one up with Alpha Omega. If you don't like Alpha Omega, you can eat my toenails.